School. He holds the position of Senior Manager, Engineering Research Center, Tata Motors Limited, Pune. So today's topic is all about career opportunities, graduation versus post-graduation. So I request Mr. Shriram Kulkarni sir to please take over the chart and we can start. Thank you very much, sir, and I welcome again once again on behalf of Shikuyaa. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Team Shikuyaa, and thank you especially to Prasanna who gave me this opportunity. So, how do we start? Do we start with a PPT? How do you generally do these sessions? With video on, without video? How do we do it?
Find it comfortable with video on. We don't have any problem, sir. You can share your PPT too. No problem.
Okay, I'll just share the PPT first then. Yeah.
No problem, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Is the screen visible? Yeah, or no?
No, sir. No.
Okay, just a minute. Sorry. Is the screen visible now or?
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Okay. Really sorry for the delay. Huh?
No problem, sir. No problem. Perfectly all right.
What is not sharing? Is this? Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible. Can you please disable the annotation?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so thank you for the intro. My name is Shriram Kulkarni. I'm currently working as a senior manager in the Engineering Research Center for Tata Motors, Pune. So I'm currently working in the NVH refinement area. NVH, for those of you who have a mechanical engineering background, may know that NVH is noise, vibration, and harshness. So we're working on designing the sound of the cars, and it's mostly related to reducing the noise and vibration in your car, so you feel good. When you sit in your car, it's just like your second home, probably, where it's all safe sound and it's not very noisy. So this specific topic, when I say career opportunities in graduation versus post graduation, what I've tried to explain here is how what are the roles that you are supposed to get when you graduate, and when you are a postgraduate, what are the roles that generally you are recruited for. So during this journey from graduation, post-graduation, there is a chance for you to study at various institutions. One of them is the IIT. So I will try to include a slide to let you know the opportunities or the areas of improvement that you will pursue when you enter an IIT or you enter any institute of repute where you can do a post graduation. Okay, so starting with, I've just listed some generic opportunities for graduate engineers that is generally present currently in the market right now. Probably Prasanna and his team are well placed to tell you more about the exact roles and the requirements. But just for the sake of discussion, I've tried to list out some generic opportunities for graduate engineers. So basically, when we talk about core engineering companies, the freshers or these fresh graduates, they are generally absorbed into production as production supervisors, as people in sales and marketing, as somebody in supply chain, or as a CAD engineer. And in IT and software, mostly the jobs are related to software testing and development or data analysis. Then in consultancy firms, those teams that work on the ground, the execution teams, generally hire fresh GETs or the graduate trainees. And one more major area that is coming up currently are the startups, where various startups in various fields require product engineers, sales and marketing people, supply chain people, and then some of the startups that work in the, say, content making industry would require some sort of a content manager. And the product companies will require some product development engineers, which will have who will have very varied roles and responsibilities. Now, specifically talking about these all roles, one thing that I have noted over my 10 years of experience is that uh, what you require to do this job is mostly engineering acumen, okay, and a sense of communication, that what should be the correct way to communicate information, because in industries, information is the currency. So how well you use it, the wealthy you become. So from that perspective, if you have good communication, if you can manage between people, if you have good man management skills, and if you have some sort of an engineering acumen, then all of these jobs or all of these profiles will suit you and will take you through the course. But there are some of us, or there are, I'm sure, many of you who have engineering as their passion. Okay. So some people will treat engineering as some sort of a stepping stone to some other careers or to some other areas of expertise. But for some of us, engineering has been a passion. At least for me, from the start itself, engineering is my passion. And for such people, uh, if you are studying some subjects that are related to, say, product development, that are related to, say, from a mechanical engineering perspective, at least, if you are studying, say, the internal combustion engines, you get across a lot of variety of engines, and uh, naturally your curiosity is piqued. So in such cases, what you need to know is, you want to go to depth, you want to learn more about the subject that you love. And in such cases, the graduate courses that are in offer currently in most of the engineering colleges are inadequate. What they will tell you is a general sort of a introduction to that specific branch of science, but they will not tell you either the basics or the advanced information regarding that, regarding those areas of science. For example, probably I'm quoting more examples from mechanical engineering, but again, one example is the internal combustion engine. uh, Most of us might know what is an internal combustion engine, how it works, and how basic types of engines are divided and everything. But we do not know how an actual engine that is sitting inside your car is made. If you just go to your car and open up and see the hood, open up the hood and see the engine, I'm sure many of you or most of the graduates currently would not be able to tell apart most of the components and how do they integrate into each other. So information about such subjects, where you need to passionately pursue such subjects, would only happen if you go for a postgraduate course, where you will get an opportunity to work on your specific passion by converting your passion into some sort of an engineering sense. So one of the ways, there are many ways to pursue a postgraduate degree in many courses. But a popular, I would say, route has always been the GATE exam. Probably the GATE exam currently has recently been concluded, maybe this week or last week itself, I think. I'm not very sure, but it's generally held in first or second week of February. So the GATE exam is to prepare for entrance into MTech courses in all of the IITs in India. So mostly IITs, there are, I think, now 16 IITs, but the ones that are older, IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi. these are, age-old institutions who have a very strong engineering, I would say, engineering sense, and they're well equipped to prepare engineers that will work for the betterment of India, I would say. And one more, I would say, some advantages of getting into IITs. I'll try to list out a few of them. First is, when you get into a postgraduate course into IIT, it's more like you keep calm and you get back to basics, because whatever engineering courses that are on offer at graduate level, they will teach you, I'll again repeat, that the basics or the introductions to that specific branch of science, but will not let you know the exact mathematics that goes behind each branch of science. So a postgraduate degree or a postgraduate course will get you back to basics, will let you know the mathematics or the fundamentals of how a specific branch of science has been developed. And one more interesting thing that some of us may find it interesting, some of us may despise it, but one thing that is a universal truth, that is mathematics. So all of our, again, engineering courses are designed more towards problem solving, that is more direct or practical in approach. But the practicality behind these numbers comes from a strong sense of mathematics. So those of you who are interested in learning the actual mathematics behind a specific physical phenomena, it's a good opportunity to get into a good course, postgraduate course in an IIT, and you will get to know the beautiful mathematics behind those phenomena. So this is one specific skill set that you will acquire, and this skill set will remain with you for life, because once you know the basic equations and once you can solve the basic equations, you will understand that most of the physical phenomena happening around you are all governed by almost same or exactly same equations. So what you need to just understand is what are the boundary conditions to your specific problem, and then you can solve it. So that's why understanding that mathematics is one of the main, I would say, for me at least, has been a personally a good start for my career, because we went back to basics, we understood the mathematics, and it has helped me a lot since then. So one more, I think, additional thing that you get is that you surround yourself with people who have ambition and who are smart or much smarter than you. As part of man management courses and everywhere, people tell you that you surround yourself with those people with whom you can at least compare or you can look up to. So this idiom is actually exactly true if you enter into an IIT or any other postgraduate course of repute. There you will get to know people who have an ambition, who have taken a different path of their own choosing, and that path is somewhat can inspire you and can also help you find your own path. So that is another positive point that you will get if you choose to do such a course. And then there are some additional gains that you get. For example, the buzzword these days is coding, artificial intelligence, machine learning. But all of these, coding languages or the coding tools that are there, all of them have a basis in mathematics. So the coding per se, if you learn it as a language and if you try to use it for I would say purposes or applications where it is more to be used as a language than a mathematical way, then you are losing out something. Because all of them have a good mathematical base, and all of these languages have actually evolved uh, after some specific applications needed some mathematical, I would say, mathematical function to occur. So from that perspective, you will get to know a lot of mathematics behind many of the popular programming languages, which is going to help you a lot in your career. Just to quote an example, many of you from a mechanical engineering background would have heard, probably as part of your career journey, would have heard from many people that you need to learn a lot of softwares. For example, you need to know ProE, you need to know Abacus. What are these software? These softwares are the 1D finite element solvers. So what do they do is that they solve a specific set of equation for a specific boundary condition. Now, in IITs or any postgraduate course, what you'll really learn is how these softwares operate. What are the codes that go behind them? And if you know the codes, or if you know that application, how it is oriented, you are well placed to actually solve a specific problem. And your understanding of that problem and your general understanding of physical phenomena will increase multifolds. So from that perspective, this is also a good addition to your portfolio if you are pursuing such a course. Uh, then next one and the most important one is the placement. So when, as opposed to the local engineering colleges, the IITs will always have a portfolio of very strong engineering companies, and most of them will recruit you for posts that are related to either research or development or some sort of analytics, because they know since you belong to an IIT, you will have a good analytical mindset. So from that perspective, the only thing that they need to teach you is the specific application where you need to apply that analytical mindset and your engineering skills. So from that perspective, the best place to land is any research or research and development wing in any of the big companies in India. So all of the companies in India which have a strong research and development base here will always recruit from IITs, and will give you a very uh, I would say a very strong career option, where you will have freedom of working on various things that will matter, uh, as opposed to probably a outsourcing job where you're doing something for somebody else. Here you will outsource jobs to everybody else because you will need help while solving those problems. So this is also one good addition to your portfolio. And then at the end, when you get out of such a course, what you will have is a strong technical mindset, and that strong technical mindset will belong to you and it will help you throughout your life. So this was just a summary of what you will probably gain if you choose to have a postgraduate course. And going back to uh, the career opportunities as such, while the core companies were offering roles that are fringe roles, I would say, that not really connected to the core working of the company to the graduates, they generally offer those roles which are very crucial to the day-to-day running, and as well as the I would say the future running of the company. So the core engineering companies offer generally production planning jobs, then technical services manager, which involves the technical services required in running a production line probably. Then most of the companies will require R&D engineers. So most of the companies that at least my knowledge is now 10 years old, but probably whatever companies that we had come across, most of them recruited me and my batchmates to a R&D engineer role. So that was a popular role back then. So that is one role where probably you have freedom to work on problems, solve them, and apply your engineering mindset. So that is one good role to have. Then CAE analysis, most of the mechanical and electrical background companies have a simulation department or a simulation uh, mindset, where they will try to simulate all of the product phenomena in digital domain, and then try to use that digital domain processing to reduce your product development timelines. So from that perspective, all of the companies hire CAE analysts who are well versed in finite element method and other engineering courses. Now, an up and coming role is the analytics engineer, where quality and other domains require you to have a knowledge of Six Sigma and other such statistical I would say analysis. So analytics engineer is also a role that is being offered in IT and software. Application developer, systems analyst, these are common jobs that are being offered to postgraduate people. Then in consultancy, there are many consultancy firms in India. Some of them are engineering consultants, some of them are management consultants, some of them are HR related consultants. So specifically sticking to engineering consultants, many of them require people who will go on to become subject matter experts, because consultants require those who will impart knowledge to those to the customers. So they generally look for developing subject matter experts out of the postgraduates. So the consultancies generally hire consulting managers, and then they go on to become subject matter experts. Many startups are also recruiting heavily from IITs for tech lead roles, product developer, supply chain analyst roles, and many product development leads are also hired from IITs for such generic roles. So this was all about the opportunities that you could get from a graduate and a postgraduate course. Hope it was at least somewhat informative to you. And I'm now open for questions and answers, if any.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. It was really a wonderful session. I request all the students, can you please drop your questions in the chat box? So sir is available for question and answer session. If you do have questions, just drop in the chat box so that I can ask sir directly from the chat box. Please, students, you can ask questions directly. One question from Anurag sir. How to get job in PSUs?
Yeah, generally different PSUs will have different different entrance guidelines. So most of the PSUs such as ONGC, BHEL, and the petroleum companies, they generally have a requirement of gate rank below, I think, 200. Okay, the cutoff generally is, I think, below 200. Then they will have some interview round or anything, and then people get selected for such PSUs.
Other questions? Other students, please ask your doubts, ask your questions to the expert. So one question from my side.
Yeah.
Actually, lots of students are getting good opportunities right after their graduation nowadays in IT industry.
Yes, yes.
So will it be beneficial to go for a post graduation if a student have already a good opportunity in his or her hand?
See, you can look at good opportunity from two perspectives, either from a money perspective or from a profile perspective. So generally, whatever profile that is offered for graduate engineers differs from what is offered to postgraduate engineers, at least in my experience. For postgraduate engineers, generally a higher level of portfolio is offered. So probably if that difference in portfolio is not a matter to you, then you can select to remain with your own with the opportunity that you have. But that is a very personal opinion and a selective a selection criteria that you will have to think for about yourself, I think.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Chaitali has asked the same question after our answer. If we have the offer letter in our hand, then which is better, that placement offer or post graduation? So the same question that I have,
Again, this again is a very I would say a personal. So whatever offer letter that you have, what profile is being offered to you versus what you can get. These are two things that will have some pros and cons. And that is again remains a personal choice. But what I would suggest is that if you are getting a postgraduate opportunity in a very good institution, then I would choose a postgraduate institution probably, but that's my bias. But uh, what happens is that when you get into such good institutions like the IITs, the world of opportunities that is available there is much higher. The ceiling is much higher than what you have currently. So in such cases, it would not be a prudent move to not opt for at least trying to test out your horizons in such institutions, because you're limiting yourself by not uh, going there and trying yourself out. So that is one view that I can offer.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Anurag has one question. Which will be more beneficial, MS abroad or MTech in IIT?
Beneficial, if you are talking from a money perspective, always MS, because probably the initial investment is higher, but on a long run you will get more out of it. But if you have some probably if you want to remain here, then the best thing that you will get offered is through a MTech in IIT.
Okay, any more questions from anyone? Any questions? You can drop your questions in the chat box. I think so. Yes, one question is there from Madiwar Project, I think. Which will have more chance of getting job in MS, job MS in abroad or MTech? The same question, I think.
Yeah, in this case, I would say, uh, see, if you have a background from a local engineering college, then for MS, whenever you opt for an MS, you will only get admitted in probably say tier 2, tier 3 universities, which will provide you a low chance of scoring some very good jobs that are available abroad. Uh, but in India, if you opt for an IIT for an MTech, there is a very high chance that you will get a very good lucrative offer as well as a good profile.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you very much. Shall we conclude, sir?
Yeah, yeah, okay, no problem at all.
Thank you very much. On
Thank you.
behalf of Shikuyaa,
Yes,
I really thankful to you, sir, and all the students who have present over here right now, and hope also with us for the guidance.
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Bye bye and good night.
Bye. Good night. Yeah.
Night all. Thank you very much.